Good afternoon. So today we are starting our third prose, in celebration of being alive, written by Dr. Christian Bernard. Let us see about the author first. Right, about the author. So, Christian Neethling Bernard was born in rural South Africa in 1922 to poor parents as their fourth child. He evinced great interest in his academics and was determined to pursue medicine after the loss of his brother to a cardiac ailment. He won many scholarships and pursued his higher studies, specializing in cardiac surgery. So he was a heart specialist, Dr. Christian Bernard. So his full name is Christian Neethling Bernard. So he was born in rural South Africa. Rural means in a rural area. Rural part of South Africa in the year 1922 to poor parents. So his parents were not wealthy, they were poor as their fourth child. So he was the fourth baby to their parents. He evinced great interest in his academics. So evinced means he had showed great interest in his academics, that is in his school life and all his studies, and was determined to pursue medicine. And he had decided to continue studying medicine. So what made him to decide to study medicine is after the loss of his brother to a cardiac ailment. So he had lost his brother, that is his brother was died due to a cardiac ailment. Ailment means an illness. So this incident had made him to study medicine, that is loss of his brother had made him to study medicine. He won many scholarships and pursued his higher studies, specializing in cardiac surgery. So he won many scholarships, that is he got many scholarships and he continued his higher studies, specializing in the cardiac surgery. As a cardiac surgeon, Bernard focused on congenital and complicated cardiac conditions for which there was no cure at that time. So remember, he was born in the year 1922. So a period in which there was not much development in the field of medicine. Now the situation is totally opposite. But in those days, there is no much progress in the field of medicine. So as a cardiac surgeon, Bernard focused, that is he concentrated on congenital heart disease. Shortly it will be called as CHD. So it means a disease, it is a heart disease. So so it is a heart disease. So what is it is? It is a defect in the structure of the heart. Or the vessels, that is the blood vessels in the heart, which is present from birth itself. That is called as CHD. A defect in the structure of the heart or the vessels in the heart, which will be present in a person from his birth itself, since his birth. That is called as CHD, congenital heart disease. So for some patients it may be life threatening, and for some patients it may cause nothing. It depends upon their defect. Right. So he focused on the congenital and complicated, so very difficult, complicated cardiac conditions for which there was no cure at that time. For all those diseases, there was no cure during his time, that is during his period. So after experimenting with heart transplantation on animals, he performed the world's first human to human heart transplant in the year 1967. Okay, so whatever medicine or whatever thing they are doing in the medicine field, before that it will undergo many phases of testing, okay, before they are implementing it to the human beings. Okay, so after experimenting with heart transplantation on animals, okay, so he had experimented heart transplantation on animals. After experimenting the heart transplantation on animals, he performed the world's first human to human heart transplant in the year 1967. So Dr. Christian Neethling Bernard was the first person who had done the first human to human heart transplant in the year 1967. Okay, he gained worldwide recognition. So for that he was recognized worldwide because there was a much poor development in the medicine during those period. Okay, so as he was the first person who had done human heart transplantation in the year 1967, he had gained worldwide recognition, worldwide appreciation, honor. Okay, and went on to develop many surgery techniques which are being adopted till date. Okay, and after that he had developed many surgery techniques which are being adopted, so which are followed till date, that is till now all his techniques were followed. Bernard has penned 14 books and 235 scientific articles that have been published in reputed journals. Okay, penned means that is he had written. So he had written 14 books and 235 scientific articles, 235 scientific articles that have been published in reputed journals. Reputed means very famous, okay, very famous journals. Some of his books are One Life, 50 Ways to a Healthy Heart. You can Google and search all these books. So some of his books are One Life, 50 Ways to a Healthy Heart, The Best Medicine, and The Faith. Okay, these are some of his famous books. A pioneer in cardiac surgery, he obtained a doctorate in medicine from the University of Cape Town. Okay, so he was a pioneer. Pioneer means the first person to do something. Okay, so he was the first person who had done heart transplantation, right? So a pioneer in cardiac surgery, he obtained a doctorate in medicine from the University of Cape Town. Cape Town University awarded him doctorate in medicine. This was followed by, so after that he had received 11 honorary doctorates bestowed upon him by universities all over the world. So bestowed means that is given to him by universities all over the world, throughout the world. He has also received 36 international awards. So apart from this, he had also received 36 international awards. Such a great person he is. In his late years, he established the Christian Bernard Foundation to serve and promote the cause of underprivileged children throughout the world, and died at the age of 78 in the year 2001. Okay, so in his late years he established the Christian Bernard Foundation. So during his later part of his life, he established Christian Bernard Foundation. So what is the purpose of that foundation is, it is to serve and promote the cause of underprivileged. So underprivileged means underprivileged children, that is the children in the society who are not satisfied even with the basic privileges what other children are getting. Okay, so மற்ற குழந்தைங்களுக்கு ஒரு சொசைட்டியில் என்னென்ன ப்ரிவிலேஜஸ் கிடைக்குதோ அது கூட கிடைக்காம இருக்கிற அந்த பேசிக் ப்ரிவிலேஜஸ் கூட கிடைக்காம இருக்க சில்ட்ரனுக்காக. ஓகே, to promote the cause of underprivileged children throughout the world. Okay, so this Christian Bernard Foundation was established to promote the cause of underprivileged children throughout the world and died at the age of 78. So unfortunately he was died at the age of 78 in the year 2001. Okay, see, such a great person he is. He is the first doctor to perform human to human heart transplantation. Okay, so he was much cared for the children. Okay, so his care is much more towards the children because his brother's death had affected him a lot. Okay, so such a great person he is. So what he had done during his later part of the year is he had established a foundation, that is Christian Bernard Foundation. So how far we are famous அப்படிங்கிறது it is not important. Okay, நம்ம இல்லாததுக்கு அப்புறமும் what we are giving for the society, that is the great thing. Okay, so this great personality was died during the year at the age of 78 in the year 2001. Okay, now let us get into the prose. So what is the title of our third prose? In Celebration of Being Alive. Such a nice title it is. I don't know how many of you are able to realize and understand the meaning of this title. Okay, so anyhow, you can realize it at the end of the prose, end of this lesson, right? So Dr. Christian Bernard. So there are several physically challenged people who have lived successful and meaningful lives. Here are a few personalities who have fought great odds and lived a life of blazing achievements. Let us share what we know about each of them and complete the table below. So there are several physically challenged people. Okay, you know what is meant by physically challenged. Okay, the handicapped. Who have lived successful and meaningful lives. Okay, so they have performed many success in their life. Here are a few personalities who have fought great odds. Odds means great difficulties or hardships. Okay, so here are a few personalities who have fought great odds and lived a life of blazing achievements. Okay, and they had achieved many things, a life full of achievements. Let us share what we know about each of them and complete the table below. So here a few personalities, famous personalities name were given. Okay, now let us see about their nature of challenge in their field of achievement. You have to fill it in your book. So first one, Beethoven. Okay, so already we have heard this name in our 10th standard poem, I think, the piano lesson. Okay, Beethoven. So he was a person with hearing impairment. What he had achieved is his field of achievement is music. Okay, next one is Demosthenes. He is such a famous personality. Okay, so what is his nature of challenges? He has speech impairment, that is impediment or impairment, that is he could not speak properly. But what is his field of achievement is he was a great orator in his later part of his life. Okay, he was such a great orator. Okay, so one of his famous speeches called as Philippics. 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 Okay, so in which it is a series of speech. Okay, that Philippics is a Philippics. Okay, so it is a series of speech. It is nothing but a series of speech in which he attacked King Philip of Macedonia. Okay, so it is his field of achievement. He is a great orator. Next, Helen Keller. Okay, so Helen Keller, every one of you know about Helen Keller, I hope. So she is a triple handicapped. That is, she could not speak. She is a deaf, dumb and blind. Okay, she could not see, she could not hear, she could not speak. Okay, later with the help of her teacher Annie Sullivan, she was able to recognize speeches with the lip movement of a person. Okay. So her field of achievement is she was a great writer. She had involved in, she had participated in many political meetings. Okay. Next, Mariyappan Thangavelu. So you know very well about him. He is also a physically challenged person. So what is his area of achievement is he was a great athlete and Para-Olympics. So he had participated in the Para-Olympics. You know very well about him, right? Next one is Mozart. Who is Mozart is? He is a person with hearing impairment. Okay, so he was very famous in music. Okay, he was a great musician. He was very famous in music. Next one, John Milton. Okay, so John Milton is one of the greatest poet, greatest writer in the English literature. Okay, so what is his nature of challenges? He is a visually challenged person. He could not see. He is a blind, but he had written many works. All his works were very, very, very famous. Such a great writer he is, but he is a visually challenged person. That is, he is a blind. Okay. So he had written a poem called On His Blindness. Okay. So, and the poem la on his, the title of the poem is On His Blindness. And the poem la he had written about his own blindness. Avaroda blindness பத்தி தான் அதில் எழுதியிருப்பார். Okay, his poem Paradise Lost is one of the very famous work in the field of English literature, right? Next one is Sudha Chandran. Okay, she is a great Bharatanatyam dancer. Every one of you know her very well, I think. She is still there. See, she is Sudha Chandran. I think every one of you have seen her. நிறைய சீரியலில் வில்லி கேரக்டரில் பார்த்துருப்போன்னு நினைக்கிறேன். ஓகே, ஸோ ஷீ இஸ் அ கிரேட் பரதநாட்டியம் டான்சர். So she is a Bharatanatyam dancer, and what is her nature of challenges? One of her leg is amputated. Amputated means removed. Okay, so in an accident, one of her leg was completely damaged and her leg was removed when she was returning from Mumbai to Chennai in a car. Okay, then and she is coming on her way to home. So she met with an accident and one of her leg was permanently damaged and it was finally removed, and now she is with an artificial leg. Okay, she is a great Bharatanatyam dancer. Okay, so what this table shows is it. So our challenges doesn't matter. Okay, so many physically challenged many person had, you know, Stephen Hawking. Okay, one of the greatest personality. So all this shows that our nature of challenge doesn't matter for our achievement. Okay, so we all know that. Let us get into the prose. So fill this table yourself. We all know that Dr. Christian Barnard was the first doctor to perform a heart transplant surgery. Here we have an extract of his speech wherein he narrates an experience which has changed his perspective of life altogether. Let us find out what led to such a dramatic transformation, right? So we all know that he is the first person to perform an heart transplant surgery. So here is an extract of his speech wherein he narrates, he explains an experience which has changed his perspective of life altogether. Perspective means his view. Okay, so his view of life altogether. Let us find out what led to such a dramatic transformation. Now let us find what is the reason for such a transformation in him. More and more, as I near the end of my career as a heart surgeon, my thoughts have turned to the consideration of why people should suffer. Suffering seems so cruelly prevalent in the world today. Do you know that of the 125 million children born this year, 12 million are unlikely to reach the age of 1 and another 6 million will die before the age of 5. And of the rest, many will end up as mental or physical cripples. Okay, so more and more as I near the end of my career as a heart surgeon, so he had met with an accident, so my thoughts have turned to the consideration. Okay, so consideration means he's thinking something, his careful thought. Consideration means careful thought, that is he is thinking carefully of why people should suffer. So why people in the world should suffer, ஏன் அவங்க suffer ஆகணும், why people should suffer. Suffering seems so cruelly prevalent. Prevalent means a common thing. So suffering of the common people in the society seems to be very common in the world today. So it is very common in the world today. Do you know that of the 125 million children born this year, 12 million are unlikely to reach the age of 1. Okay, so out of 125 million children born in that year, 12 million are unlikely to reach the age of 1. So only 12 million children are able to that is able to live till the age of 1, and another 6 million will die before the age of 5. So before the age of 5, 6 million children will be dying. So that is the status of medicine which was prevalent in his days. Whose days? In the period of Christian Barnard. And of the rest, many will end up as mental or physical cripples. And of the rest means of the remaining. Okay, so 12 million are unlikely to reach the age of 1, and 6 million will die before the age of 5. And of the rest, that is of the remaining, many will end up as mental or physical cripples. So cripples means people with some disability, preventing them from performing certain normal functions. Okay, disabled people. So the disability which stops them from performing normal functions like all the other people or children. Okay, so remaining will end up their life with a mental or physical cripple. So this is common in those days. Okay, so what is his thought is, why people are suffering a lot, why people living in the world should suffer. Okay, so 12 million out of 125 million, 12 million are dying before the age of 5, and remaining 6 million are dying till the before the age of 5, and of the remaining children, many life are ended with physical or mental cripples. Okay, my gloomy thoughts probably stem from an accident I had a few years ago. One minute I was crossing the street with my wife after a lovely meal together, and the next minute a car had hit me and knocked me into my wife. She was thrown into the other lane and struck by a car coming from the opposite direction. See, what happened is, my gloomy thoughts. Okay, so what is the meaning of gloomy is, okay, so what is the meaning of gloomy is, okay, so his depressed thoughts. So generally gloomy has one more meaning, what we call that is dimly lit room. ரொம்ப டிம்மான லைட்டில் இருக்க place that we call gloomy. Here the meaning of gloomy is he is in a depressed, okay, he is in a depressed mood in that time, at that time. So my gloomy thoughts probably stem from an accident. Okay, so his thoughts it is probably it is arising from an accident I had a few years ago. That is the accident he had met with a few years ago. 1 minute. So what happened is, just in 1 minute I was crossing the street with my wife. So he and his wife were crossing the street after a lovely meal together in a restaurant, and the next minute a car had hit me. Okay, so what happened is, a car had hit him, whom? The doctor, and knocked me into my wife. Okay, and had thrown him into his wife. And the car அவர் மேலே இடிச்சு இவர் போய் எங்கே விழுந்துட்டாரு? On his wife. She was thrown into the other lane. So immediately what happened is, she was thrown into the other lane. You know what is mean by lane, right? Okay, so she was thrown into the lane 9 and the road and the poor path that is called as lane. She was thrown into the other lane and struck by a car coming from the opposite direction. So and she was hit with the car which is coming from the opposite direction. So this is one of the great accident met by Dr. Christian Barnard and his wife. During the next few days in the hospital, I experienced not only agony and fear but also anger. Okay, so after the accident they were admitted in the hospital and he experienced not only agony. So agony means extreme physical and mental suffering. Okay, physical and mental suffering. So not only agony and fear but also anger. So he was not only affected with agony and fear but also he was very angry. I could not understand why my wife and I had to suffer. So he could not understand why he and his wife should suffer. I had 11 broken ribs. So he had 11 broken ribs and a perforated lung. My wife had a badly fractured shoulder. Over and over, I asked myself, why should this happen to us? I had work to do. After all, there were patients waiting for me to operate on them. My wife had a young baby who needed her care. Okay, so I had 11 broken ribs. So totally how many ribs the human body has? 24. That is 12 on each side. Okay, so out of that, how many of his ribs were broken? 11 ribs were broken and a perforated lung. Okay, so perforated means torn and damaged with holes. Okay, so his lungs was perforated, that is it was torn and damaged with holes. So his ribs were broken, 11 of his ribs were broken and his lung was damaged. So his wife had a badly fractured shoulder. There is a severe fracture in his wife's shoulder. Over and over, I asked myself, why should this happen to us? So he was thinking, why all this should happen for them? Because I had work to do, because he was a doctor, he was a cardiologist, he was a heart doctor, he had work to do. After all, there were patients waiting for me to operate on them. Okay, there were many patients waiting for me for my operation. Okay, so the patients will be waiting to be get operated through him. My wife had a young baby who needed her care, and also they had a young baby, so always the babies need the care of mother. Okay, so why all this should happen to me and his wife was a big question for him, why they should suffer. My father, had he still been alive, would have said, my son, it is God's will. That's the way God tests you. Suffering ennobles you, makes you a better person. Okay, my father, had he still been alive. Okay, so whose father? Doctor's father, Dr. Christian Barnard's father. My father, had he still been alive, that means he was dead. Okay, ஒருவேளை இப்போ வரைக்கும் உயிரோடு இருந்திருந்தாரு அப்படின்னா would have said, so what he might have said is, my dear son, it is God's will. So everything happens according to the will of the God. That's the way God tests you. So this is the way the God is testing you. Suffering ennobles you, makes you a better person. Okay, so suffering makes a person to be more noble. Okay, takes a person to a better place, makes you a better person. Okay, so his father is dead, but suppose if his father is still alive, what he might have said is, my dear son, everything happens according to the will and wish of the God. This is how God is testing you. So suffering will make a person to a better person. Suffering will make a person to be better. It will take a person to a better place. Okay. So this might be the words of his father if he was still alive. But as a doctor, I see nothing noble in a patient thrashing around in a sweat-soaked bed, mind clouded in agony. Nor can I see any nobility in the crying of a lonely child in a ward at night. Okay. But as a doctor, I see nothing noble. But as a doctor, or doctor, I see nothing noble in a patient's thrashing around in a sweat-soaked bed. So thrashing around means moving around restlessly. Okay. So suppose if you are suffering from fever, or if you are suffering from any pain or some problem, some health problem, okay, so enna pannuvom, we'll be simply walking around, whatever is there, we cannot concentrate in anything. Simply our mind will be running around something, we will be walking around without any patience, without any restlessly we will be doing something. Our mind will not be quiet and calm. So likewise, I see nothing noble in a patient's thrashing around in a sweat-soaked bed. Sweat-soaked bed means the bed wet with sweat. Soaked na enna nananju poirukkuradhu. Okay, you know what is meant by sweat. So in a sweat-soaked bed, mind clouded in agony. Okay, so mind completely filled with agony. So what is meant by agony? Extreme physical and mental suffering. So nor can I see any nobility in the crying of a lonely child in a ward at night. Okay, and also I cannot see anything noble in a child who is crying alone in a ward during the night time. So due to some suffering, the children will be crying. So I cannot see any noble thing as my father's words. I cannot accept my father's word because as a doctor, I could not see any noble in a patient's restlessness and a child crying alone in the midnight due to some suffering. In those days, they did not have sophisticated heart surgery. I have always found the suffering of children particularly heartbreaking, especially because of their total trust in doctors and nurses. They believe you are going to help them. If you can't, they accept their fate. They go through mutilating surgery and afterwards they don't complain. Okay, so in those days they did not have sophisticated means well developed or well advanced heart surgery. I have always found the suffering of children particularly heartbreaking, especially because of their total trust. Trust means their belief, complete belief in doctors and nurses. Okay, so because they are completely depending on the doctors and the nurses. So once they were admitted in the hospital, their complete hope is doctors and nurses. They feel that they will be definitely making them better. They believe you are going to help them. So they means here the patients. They believe that the doctors are going to help them. If you can't, they accept their fate. So if the doctors were not able to help them, they will be accepting their fate. Fate means, you know what is meant by fate. They go through mutilating surgery and afterwards they don't complain. So what is mutilating means? Mutilation means that is cutting off or causing injury to a body part of a person so that the body part is permanently damaged or detached. So அது அவங்களுக்கு திரும்பவும் ஹர்ட்டிங்காக இருந்தாலும் வேறு வழியே இல்லாமல் they will be cutting and removing. For example, if there is tumor, what the doctor will be doing, they will be cutting that part. Okay, to remove the tumor, வேறு வழியே இல்லாமல் they have to cut the tissue, they have to remove that. So even though it might be damaging that place, they have to do that, isn't it or not? So that is called as mutilating surgery. Okay, so they go through, that is cutting off or causing injury to the body part of a person causing permanently, so causing that part of the body a permanent damage, or removing some part of the body. Okay, that is due to some tumor or something like that. That is called as mutilating surgery. So they go through mutilating surgery and afterwards they don't complain. So when the patients are suffering from such problems, they'll be undergoing such surgery, and அவங்களோட பாடி பார்ட் ஒன்று ரிமூவ் பண்ணாலுமே ஒரு பார்ட் ஆஃப் த பாடி or part of a tissue from their body, okay, even though if it is removed, they will not complain after that because they want a relief from their problem, right? So let us stop with this today. Okay, hope every one of you have understood. Let us meet in the next class. Thank you.